I was always a radio fan. I listened to the radio all the time, to the point where I had made my own radio show. My name is DJ Lil Vegas. I am a 20-year-old DJ. I all started around the age of 3. My dad was a DJ. My mom, she likes to dance. So his music always being played in my house.
You all right, you're gonna be good one day, just keep practicing.
One day he said, Dad, I want to be a DJ too. I'm like, well, good, son.
102 Jam 3 live crew, rocking with you.
He has grown into be a great radio DJ.
Anything he wants to do, he's so talented.
Dude, he ahead of his time, and just the way he blends, just his blends and.
He's a super talented dude, but even more than that, he works hard.
Lil Vegas.
Vegas.
Vegas!
I don't know what's going on in here, but I'm not talented enough to be in the room. That's why I'm on the outside. But that boy Vegas, he a problem. I want to be like him when I grow up.
My name is DJ Lil Vegas. I am a 20-year-old DJ. How I get the name DJ Lil Vegas? Well, my dad, like I said, my dad is a DJ. So my dad's name is DJ Vegas Al. Every time I go around with him, they say, hey, what's up, Lil Al, or what's up, Lil Vegas? Before I got the name Lil Vegas, I went through a whole 3 different names. And I was just like, these names are not gonna fit me. The first name I had, DJ Pro Master Mix.
And I'm like, okay, because I'm thinking he's gonna say, DJ Lil Vegas, so I'm like, okay, so, but I didn't say that, I just let it go, All right, ladies and gentlemen, you have listened to the sound of DJ Pro Master Mix. Once again, 10 years old, 5 years in the business, all the way from Sumner Elementary.
And then it was DJ Crossfade. I was like, these names are not gonna fit me.
So it went on and it went on, and then he came up again, he said, I'm gonna change my DJ name again. I said, okay, here he come now. So he said, I'm gonna change my name to DJ Young Pro.
And I kinda like that, and that ran with me for a few years.
I'm like, okay, so I just let it go, and it just didn't say anything.
But it was just something clicked and said, I want to follow my dad's footsteps, DJ Lil Vegas. And when I told my dad that, he teared up. He was like, I thought you would never take my name.
So when he turned his back, I was like, yes, I knew it was coming sooner or later.
I was like, yeah, I want to carry that legacy, because my dad is pretty well known in Greensboro. And I was just like, let me just continue that. And so that's how I got DJ Lil Vegas. I started hanging out with Flex and Showdown Friday nights at 102 Jams. And every time I would come in, Showdown would crack the mic. DJ Lil Vegas is in here, along with DJ Lil Vegas' hat. So everybody knew me by the hat.
The hat? We love the hat. The hat was coined on Hip Hop 102 by Showdown and myself. We started calling him the Fedora or the hat, and the hat has become famous.
He would go to school. Now he had this particular style. He wore cardigans to school, and he didn't get into the tie, but that fedora just was the look, and that was his move. I was like, where you get that old man's hat from?
I've seen Vegas without his fedora one time, and it's when we got on the Fury 325 at Carowinds, and the wind blew his hat off. other than that, he always has it everywhere he goes. I believe it gives him power.
Like his logo ought to be some type of fedora. If he ever has a logo, it better have a fedora on it. Like Vegas without a fedora is like, It's like soul food without sweet tea, man. I mean, it just goes together.
I think I've only seen them without a fedora once, and I was super shocked. Called security, didn't know who the hell he was. I think he sleeps in the fedora. We had hotel rooms when it snowed one time. Before we went to bed, I was on his hall, knocked on the door one time. He came out with the fedora on. It's midnight. Why you got a fedora on at midnight in a hotel room by yourself? Or was he not by himself? That's what you got to ask yourself. Freaky Jason, man. Real freaky DJ. DJs are freaky. They real good with their fingers, you know what I'm saying? Real freaky, man. So freaky with your fingers and you rock fedoras, man, there's no telling what's going on with that dude, man. Those was my first thought. And believe it or not, he had them hanging around his wall in his bedroom, but he wear his favorite hat. I don't know where that hat come in the season, because he went to toboggan. He went from the toboggan to the baseball cap, from the baseball cap to the fedora, and that fits him.
I have never seen Vegas with his hat off, because he always got a fedora, man. It's him. It's laid back. The fedora, when you look at it, when you think of a fedora, you think laid back, and that's Vegas.
To see him without the hat is very weird. He would look funny if he doesn't have the hat or the glasses on. He looks like somebody else. That's not Lil Vegas. I don't know who that is. That's Alan.
And I can't go anywhere else without the hat now. So I said, with the hat, I can't dress the standard style. So I had to switch it up. So I have to start wearing things that could complement the hat. That's why I have a different style now. But my hat has an agent now, so put it like that. It all started around the age of 3. I was 3. My dad was a DJ. My mom, she likes to dance. So his music always being played in my house.
Household full of music, all the time. All the time. He was always serious. Even when his friends came over to play with him, they had to play in the back and listen to music.
So how I got started DJing was when my dad, one of his turntables in his entertainment system broke down. And I remember this day like it was yesterday because I'm walking outside with him to the trash can because he's getting ready to throw the turntable away.
And he was like, Daddy, can I have this turntable? I'm like, yeah, sure, son. So let me cut the ends off, let me cut the wire, the power plug off, because he would like to put the plug in the socket, and I didn't want him to electrocute himself.
He used to record mixtapes in the club while he was DJing. So he played one of his mixtapes and he gave me one of the records he don't even really use anymore. And that's where it started. And I just had fun right there. And I was scratching and stuff. I didn't even know what I was doing. I was just mimicking him.
Whenever someone come on, he'll act like he was DJing with the turntable and, put the headphones on and do all this and do all that with the turntable. And I'm like, okay, he's gonna be a DJ when he get bigger.
And I got in trouble a couple of times because when he was making mixtapes at the house, I would try to see what he was doing. So I'll put like my chair on the table or something like that, try to look over, and he was like, no, don't do it. And I kind of messed up a couple of mixtapes like that, but I still got them to this day. It's just like memories. But that's how I started. That's how DJing actually started.
One day I was at the store with him, he was about maybe 1, and the lady was working with the cash register, and any sound that cash register made, he was bopping his little head. He was bopping any music, he could adjust the radio. So I thought more so he'd be a dancer than a DJ.
He used to dance a lot. I mean, when he hear any type of good sounding music, he would just get up and just dance, and I'm like, okay, he's gonna be a dancer.
First time I heard him DJ?
Yes. The very first time.
The very first time I heard him DJ, I said, baby, you doing good. Keep going, baby. You all right. You gonna be good one day. Just keep practicing. But it was interesting. Very interesting. The scratch seemed like somebody get the nigga to just shake it across the record.
When he first started DJing, you could hear the blends and the scratches and the back spins, and I'm like, son, did you do that? Yeah, daddy. I'm like, man, that sounds good right there. So everything he done, it just impressed me.
His daddy had to do something for KBP Event Center, and his daddy forgot something and left it home. And Lil Vegas stayed there, and he kept the music going. So when his daddy got back, they said, we did not realize you were gone because the music kept going. He said, no, there's Junior up there. And from that point on, I was shocked because I didn't realize that he was into it like that and know what song to put on right behind one another.
Every time I had to do any type of function, I would take him with me, and he would just observe real hard and see what I was doing, and whatever I did, he'll watch the people expression, the dances and this and that, and it seemed like it kind of, surprised him, and it just seemed like, this is what he really wanted to do too. And then just one day he said, Dad, I want to be a DJ too. I'm like, well, good, son.
Yeah, my dad, he had influence on that. He's a Shriner, so he used to DJ at the Shriners in Greensboro. He also used to DJ at a club called the Command Post when it was still here. So every time I went around with him, they used to do day parties and functions and stuff. And I was 6 maybe when it started happening. And when it happened, he used to say that he had to go to the car or he had to go to the bathroom or something. And he was like, if the record goes out or the record's be about to end, change it for me. And he would be gone for 15, 20 minutes. And I'm like, I had to do something. So I just started mixing, and people would say, he's 6 years old in the club doing a day party. And my dad would be in a lounge or somewhere just chilling at the bar, just watching me, and I didn't even know it. I was always a radio fan. I listened to the radio all the time, to the point where I had made my own radio shows, like 10 years old. I had a CD burning. It was like a 2-track CD burning. And I would set it up, and I would go into my little studio I had at the time and like playing everything out, like make my playlist. I would record commercials from the radio and everything. And I'm listening to DJs from Horace to Storm to J Flex and all the guys on 102 Jams. I'm listening to them doing like mix squad weekends when they DJing the whole weekend, and I would just listen and I try to mimic them. So I would have the radio playing, and then when it goes to a commercial break, I'll try to play the same way they did. The day that I actually realized that radio was my dream was when I met DJ Polo at my sister's birthday party at her house. And I didn't even know he was coming. I didn't even know she knew DJ Polo. And she was just like, I want you to DJ. I got somebody coming. I just want you to DJ. I was like, okay. So I'm DJing and I see Polo come in. I'm like, so I'm DJing, he's checking me out. He was like, I want you to come to the station with me next few weeks. I was like, okay. And I went there. That's the first time I met Delight. And this was doing a 20-minute workout at 12 o'clock. And it was the last 5 minutes. And he put on Walk This Way by Run DMC. I remember that. He had on both turntables. He talked on the air. He said, this is my little homie. He's 10 years old at the time. And Delight was like, let's see what he can do. So I just remember, walk this way, walk this way. And I couldn't even see him. I'm up here like that, trying to bring it back. And people was calling in, was like, yo, he's 6, he's this and that. And I was like, that's what made me realize, like, I want to do this again. I want to do this again. Getting to get on 102, because that was my main focus, trying to get on 102. Like, I went through a state of depression almost. Like, my mom and dad can tell you that it used to be, I remember listening in 2010 or 2011, they was having birthday bash at the Coliseum, and I'm listening to them. And I'm like, okay, I gotta get there one day. I really gotta get there one day. And it was a live broadcast. So around, it was from 10 to 12. So after 12 o'clock, they went back to the station. I was like, who's DJing at the station? Then I heard a DJ that I never heard before that night. I was like, I know these guys. Like, I couldn't be at the station. And that's when it kind of trickled, like, maybe I'm not ready yet. Maybe it's just not my point. And that's when I started getting to a state of depression, because it was like, maybe I'm not fit for the radio.
But he really wanted to be able to DJ and be on the radio. And he couldn't understand why he never got the call. And I remember one particular night we were sitting in the back and he was working on a computer making beats and stuff. And he heard, like, I think it's like a mix weekend and the DJs, he like, Mama, I can do that, I can do that. And for some reason, that gut-wrenching, wasn't no crying feeling, but the tears just started rolling down his face. And I'm like, Lord, give me the strength to show this young man that when your time is right, that the good Lord is seasoning you to be where you are. And when you get to where you're gonna be, you're gonna be on point. So you have to wait for him. And when it's coming, when the good Lord is bringing it to you, it's gonna fall in place. And it took a lot, because he cried like a hurt soulful cry. And it took everything he had to be strong. And for me not to break down and cry and just tell him, just, oh, your day is coming.
And I'm not thinking at the time, it's my age, like I can't work yet. I wanted to be that youngest DJ on the radio. I wanted to be that 12, 10, 13-year-old on the radio, like, and he's doing this, like, he's been doing this for 30 years. I wanted to be that person. And for a while, I didn't even listen to the radio. It was like, I couldn't, because every time I listened to the radio, I started like tearing up and crying because I couldn't get there. And when I finally got there, it was just a dream come true. I got on to A&T station 90.1, and how that started was I was downtown at Fun 4. This was 2009. My dad's friend DJ Jimmy Jam told me to come out there, and he said that I'm gonna let you DJ for a little bit. So I said, okay, cool. I was nervous, like I was just nervous. I was like, I can't do this because it's downtown. It's like 500 to 1,000 people down here. I can't really function. So this is my first time DJing in front of thousands of people. So they introduced me and I just zoned out. But once I get into that mind frame of DJing, I got tunnel vision. I have to figure out what I'm gonna do. And I just zoned out and I just started scratching, doing tricks and everything. And my parents told me that people just wasn't dancing. They were just staring at me like, who is this guy? And when I finished DJing, I felt like I accomplished something. So I went home that night, and a few hours, I think around 9 o'clock, is when I got a phone call from Jimmy Jam. And he was like, Miss D. Cherie at 90.1 has so many calls that she's interested in giving you a spot on 90.1. And this was my freshman year in high school. And she was like, we want you to be a part of 90.1. So I was a part of 90.1 till I graduated from high school in 2012.
I was impressed. I was glad because he had talked about that a long time. He had talked about getting on the radio, ever since he was like 4 or 5 years old.
When that happened, I met Buster Brown. They used to be on the morning show, 102 Jams. And he has this basketball tournament that he does for summer for kids to have something to do on Friday nights called Midnight Basketball. And I was doing that for 2 to 3 years. And the last year in 2012 is when he told me about J Flex. He has the number for DJ J Flex for 102. He gave me the number and me and Flex started talking, but it kind of was like, it wasn't a connection yet.
I met him when he was a youngster, like years ago. I don't remember the age, but I started working with him when he was around 17 or 18. I started working with him and getting him ready for his radio life and like after radio. He used to come up to me and tell me everybody's job he wanted to do when they couldn't do it. And he would say it every day I saw him. It got very irritating. And I always told him his time would come.
And so that conversation kind of dissipated a little bit. So I just started focusing on myself, like, okay, I'm still not gonna get on jams because that's not my time yet. And one day I was doing midnight basketball, and Buster Brown came up and was like, Flex, we're trying to get in contact with you. I was like, really? He was like, yeah, go ahead and call him. So the next day I called him and we started talking and everything. He was like, well, let me come by your crib. And he came by my crib and he saw my studio at the time. And we started talking more. I started showing him my skills and he taught me some stuff. And he was like, what do you want to do? I said, I want to be on part of 102. I want to be a part of Mix Squad. At the time, I was like, if I just get on 102 for one time, I'll be fine. That's all I want to do, just say I was on 102 jams. And he was like, don't say that. I was like, why not? He was like, just don't say that. He said, you don't know what God has planned for you. And at the time, I didn't know what that meant. So I was just like, okay. So a few weeks later, I'm at a rehearsal for a fashion show. And I get a phone call from Flex, but I'm in the middle of a rehearsal, so I couldn't really answer the phone. So after that, after the rehearsal and I'm packing up, I tell my friends, pack this stuff up, pack my equipment up for me. And I never let anybody touch my equipment, not even my parents. Like my parents, when they try to help me unplug stuff, I'm like, don't touch it, just let me do it, because I have to have it where I know where to go get it the next time I'm doing it. I'm a perfectionist. I'm a Virgo. I have to be clean. Everything has to be, I have a little bit of OCD. So I went out to the hall and I talked to Flex. He was like, we're doing a Mix Squad weekend and I want you to be a part of it. I was like, okay, cool, I'm gonna be on there for one time. He was like, no, you're on there for 3 times. Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday morning. I was like, oh, and I'm just screaming in the hallway, just like, oh, I made it. Like, what? People are coming out the hallway looking at, what's going on? And I was like, I got on jams, but people didn't know who I was at the time. And I was like, oh, okay. But my parents didn't know yet. So when I got home, I was like, yo, I'm about to be on 102 in a couple of weeks. I was halfway asleep laying across the bed and he like, ah. I said, what's wrong? Because anytime he screams on high, he's like, they want me on 102. I said, baby, told you, when the good Lord makes it possible for you, everything just fall in place. And he started shaking and he got nervous. I said, see there, that's what hard work, perseverance, and praying and believing in the good Lord will get you where you need to go. And we just started crying because it was so much time and effort we put into that I finally got there.
He was just hungry, just wanted to be on the radio that bad. But I told him the time will come and his time has come. From being just a one night a week jock to coming on every day with the morning show, and I'm very proud of.
And that's why I'm so, like, I feel like I'm blessed in a different way. I'm not done yet. Like, God has another way for me has more in store for me. So that's why that's why my heart is set on music. That's why when people tell me that a career isn't everything, music isn't everything, I take that to heart. Because I'm looking at them like, you don't know what I went through. Like, it was a point where I just gave up on life. Like, music is what I feel like what I was made for.
I just really like this style. You know, I really liked him. I'd heard him on Sunday nights, you know, and then I went and I talked to the boss man about it, and he gave me a list of people who, if I had my choice, who would I want? And you know, just in all honesty, my very first choice was Flex, and Flex wasn't available because he already had his shift. So then I started thinking about other DJs, and no knock to anybody else, but I just didn't know what style I wanted in morning. So I was like, I want to try out Vegas.
Out of the blue situation, I was taking a nap one day, and I got the call. So I want you to be a part of the morning show. I couldn't sleep for the rest of the day. I was like, I gotta think of what I'm gonna play tomorrow. I gotta think of what I'm gonna name my mixes. I gotta think of how I'm gonna make myself different. It's just another part, another layer to the cake, you know, another icing to the cake, as you can say.
There was so many good qualities about him, like he's just always punctual, like he's gonna always be on time, or early. He's always gonna be early, which makes him on time. I really appreciated that, I really respected that. It was never a situation where I was man, I hope he doesn't send in a recorded mix on me this morning. You know what I'm saying? No knock to anybody, but that was just the reality. Like, I needed to know that I could trust him, and he was very trustworthy in that regard. He knew the music. He knew what the boss wanted to hear. You know what I mean? He found a way.
Well, it wasn't a hard process. He already knew how to DJ. And he had been doing college radio before that for years. So he knew that process, but just getting to here and I guess being able to put together his shows the way he puts them together now, I gave him some pointers on how to put them together, added on to his already skills he has, and he has grown into be a great radio DJ.
There were so many times I worked with so many DJs that they can't compromise. You know what I mean? They're like, well, my audience wants to hear this, and it's not about your audience, it's this audience. You know what I'm saying? And he understood that, and he found a way to even take the songs that we've heard a million times today, make the mix fresh. And I appreciated that. And he doesn't say much. You know what I mean? Like, Vegas can be in the room and you not even know he's there. You know what I'm saying? But when he speaks or when he says something, you know, like, you understand where he's coming from. There's no gray area. You know, and all of those qualities just as a young man becoming a man and that type deal. Like, I just respected all those things about Vegas. And I knew that this was a fresh situation for me running my own morning show. And I knew it would be fresh for him coming on mornings. And I felt like that we could all grow together. Me and him, rock and drink. It's all just fresh for everybody. So we were all pretty much at the same level, even though I had the most experience as a personality.
My first impression of Vegas, I just remember he was very quiet, and I thought he was kind of standoffish. Just kind of walked in, you know, kind of waved at everybody and just started doing his thing.
Lil Vegas was a hungry little kid when I first met him. He's very talented at many things other than just DJing. You know, he knows how to rap. He also knows how to do production. He does graphics, he does it all, and he also DJs.
I didn't believe he was as good as he was, but he's so quiet. He's so quiet, he's reserved. He's quite introverted if you ask me. I may have him wrong, but he acts introverted. So, you know, that was my first thing. I was like, man, this guy's really quiet. Like, he's an introvert.
I just remember being amazed at how old he was. He was super, super young, for real. Like, just being that young and that knowledgeable was super dope. I was like, yo, this dude's been here before. I need to see some ID. You know how you be seeing Pop Warner teams and they got the kids that's bigger than all the other kids? You're like, yo, I need to see some ID. That's how you feel when Vegas gets through DJing. You're like, yo, he was not in first grade in 2001. It's not possible, but it's a fact.
I actually heard about Vegas before I physically seen him at WNAA 90.1. Man, it's a monster though. Young, smart, talented. He's never on. He don't get tired, I guess you could say, like Kevin Gates. Oh, that was whack. But Vegas is definitely one of a kind. You know, I'll rock with him. I'm hoping he blows so that I can tag along with him.
Oh. Now, when I first heard him DJ, all of that introverted stuff went out the door. Cause, dude, he ahead of his time. You know what I'm saying? Just the way he blends, just his blends and the things he blends. Just for instance, like this morning, I heard him blend 3 songs, 1 track. At the same time, he was blending 3 songs. Awesome.
One of my good friends that used to be on 102 Jams called her name is Nick Nicole. She travels, she does radio, she does Atlanta stations, and she picked up a new station in New York, Albany, New York, Hot 99.1.
Yo, Cap City, what up? It's your girl, Nikki Nicole, and you know I hold you down in the middays, Monday through Friday, starting at 10 a.m. on the only station giving you that hip-hop and R&B heat. It is Hot 99.1.
She was getting ready to get her new spot, but she was like, can I bring somebody with me? And it was like, yeah, who do you want to bring? And she called me, she was like, would you like to be a part of a New York radio station, 12 o'clock? I was like, yeah, what I need to do? She was like, it's basically a throwback mix. I like throwback music. And so she was like, I just need you to do a 23-minute demo mix and send it to me. I was like, okay, so I have to be creative. I have to hit hard on the first song. First song, I'm good at blends. First record was a blend. She called me back, she said, you got the job. I'm a radio fan, so owning my own radio station has been a big dream of mine. So in order for me to do that, I was like, let me try internet stations. And I had made a business plan. I had wrote down the mics, I had wrote down the mixer, the computers, the computer program. I had did my research on it. And I was trying to get investors, sponsors, and all this going on. And something was just like, just start small. Just run it from your bedroom. Just run it from your bedroom, get a couple of DJs to send mixes in, and run it like that. And just treat it like a regular FM station. So that's what I'm doing. I run my own internet radio station called V94.9 FM.
I just wanna see you strip. 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 Somebody come get her. She's dancing like a strip.
I'm just seeing what God has for me. But I really want to go to California. I want to get on California station. I want to get on Trinidad station. I like producing. I'm getting back into producing now. I'm starting to sell beats. I'm starting to sell songs. I'm starting to get into acting a little bit, because I kind of want to be a voice actor. I want to be a part of the Cleveland show. I want to be a part of Family Guy. I want to be like a character. I want to be on the next Empire show. I want to be on the next whatever show comes out. So I'm just trying to take it one step at a time, see what happens next. So it could be being a syndicated radio DJ, or it could be a voice actor. The sky's the limit.
A national scene for Vegas is inevitable. You know, the talent is there, the work ethic is there. You know, the same way we're familiar with the top DJs of this time. You know, you're familiar with your DJ Envies and your Funk Flexes and that type deal. Like, he can do that, but the trick to doing that is leaving here. Like, everybody knows that. You know, there are a lot of talented guys that he's familiar with, that he works with, and some that he doesn't work with, but that if they ever would have gotten out of the 336 area code, they too could have been on a national scene. You know what I'm saying? And that's going to be the biggest thing for Vegas, when he gets the opportunity to go national. And he's doing things where he's in different markets and building his brand, which is dope. It takes 10 years to be an overnight success, a lot of people say, you know what I mean? So with his grind and with his work ethic and with his talent, man, like, since I really mean the sky's the limit for Vegas.
I know Vegas wants to be a traveling DJ, and I really have a lot of faith in him. I think he can do anything he wants to do. He's so talented. He's dedicated to his craft. He's driven. And I look forward to seeing him in Vegas one day, taking Paula D's spot or something.
He already knows. I'm going to make him famous. We're getting out of here. We're going to be big. We're going to travel the world. I'm going to be his manager, so I can get paid and just watch.
Vegas, you are ahead of your time. You're a humble soul. You have a humble soul. And to be honestly, I don't even think you know how good you are yet. I don't even think you know it. But you're ahead of your time. And before it's all said and done, I really do believe that you will be up there with those huge names, your Funk Master Flexes and your Clues and your SNSs and all that. You're just that far ahead of your time.
I've always had his back. I would support him 250 million%. Do whatever I have to do as a mother to make sure that he makes his dream come true. I've been up, I work weekends, and there were times that he wasn't driving, and I would take him to 102, and I would sit in that parking lot from 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock, come home, get an hour's sleep, and go to work and work 12 hours. And I would do it all over again, as long as he's happy and he's working towards his dream. I got his back.
Just don't let anybody discourage you. Whatever people gonna talk about you. I had people talk about me. I had school teachers talk about me. I had school teachers hate. That gave me bad grades because I was always in class talking about music, or I'm always drawing turntables or something. And I had a few teachers that didn't like me. I had a few friends that are not even my friends anymore. They talked about me. I had a few people that are close to me talk about me. But look where I'm at now. I accomplished my dream before I turned 18. My dream was to be on 102 Jams, and I did that when I walked across the stage in 2012 and graduated from high school. the next few weeks after that, I was on 102 Jam. And so everything now is just add-ons. So just don't let anybody discourage you. If you set your mind to it, you can do it. If you put it in God's hands, you can do it. Just know that's what you want to do.